Hey there riders, MotoJourno Chris here today. I'm out here with Suzuki's V-Strom 250. So this is their entry-level V-Strom. Very easy for new riders to handle. It's only got a 250cc power plant in it, so it's quite restrained in that regard. It's got quite basic, well really it's quite basic in basically every way. However, what you will notice is that family resemblance to the V-Strom line. This is obviously aimed at those who don't want to spend quite as much on that 650 option, or who might feel that'd be a bit too overwhelming. It is a significantly bigger bike than this 250. It's got basic forks on it. I did find the forks a little bit stiff while the rear was a lot softer. It's got a single disc, which you can probably see through this kind of lightweight style wheel, and the stopping power is quite restrained on that as well. There's good stopping power off the rear. So it's got that nice V-Strom beak on it, which makes it, you know, very obviously one of the V-Strom family. It's got that single round front headlight, which isn't going to offend anyone. It's kind of that traditional headlight. It's got a nice screen on it. It's not too big, but I did notice just doing a quick ride that there's actually quite good wind protection from that. Good vision through the mirrors. You've got the hand guards there as well, which are a nice feature on this kind of style bike. I do notice that Suzuki are calling it a sport adventure tourer, which is a lot to push into kind of the one bike. To be honest, I think most of these are probably a commuter adventure bike. You're definitely not looking at a sport with a 250cc. When you go up to the 650, you can probably make that claim, but it's very restrained, and I'll be interested to see how it goes on the freeway when I ride it there tomorrow. I've only just done like the around towning and the back roads and some slippery roads and things like that. And obviously, as you can see here, it's got road rubber on it. It's got regular rims. It hasn't got spoked rims or anything like that, which is what you'd expect for kind of a harder core adventure machine, which obviously this isn't anyway. But you know, if you're going to make that claim. As far as luggage, it's got the top box, it's got the two panniers. Obviously those are not standard fitment, so that wouldn't be something I'd be expecting as a consumer on a bike like this. So when it comes to ergonomics, this is a really easy to manage package. It's got a very low seat height, it's got a very thin seat, and it's very thin between the knees, which makes it even easier to reach the ground for the new and experienced riders. Foot controls, all very basic. They're rubber clad. There's a little bit of vibration that I've noticed so far through the bars, but the bars are nice and close back to you, so you're not having to reach right out. It's quite a comfortable upright seating position where you're just sitting on the bike itself. All the controls fall easily to hand. The seat is nice and comfortable in the short stint I've done on it so far. I've just grabbed the bike, and I'll give an update once I've done a couple of 100 Ks on it. But for now, first impressions. As I mentioned, the exhaust is not the nicest looking thing, but it does have a nice note to it. I'll turn that on in a second. Alright, just using my new GoPro Hero 7 Black to do a little bit of this kind of regular video footage. We're going to see what the quality's like, because first comparison to my Canon M6 is that the GoPro actually does really good easy footage. So we'll see how we go there. But what I wanted to talk about was ergonomics on this little V-Strom 250. So you've got a reasonable stretch between the seat and the pegs, which make it comfortable. I'm only 180 centimeters, so I'm not a massive rider. You've got a nice easy reach to those bars as well. Yeah, you're not stretched out too far, and you're not kind of cramped or anything like that. And obviously if you want to get in for a bit of a go, it's going to be really easy in here. So it's got nice comfortable ergonomics and a reasonable amount of room for a whole variety of riders. Also, the reach to the ground, really easy. I could be significantly shorter and I'd still be able to quite easily reach the ground here. And overall comfort is good. It's very narrow between the legs, which is one of the important things for new riders. Gives you lots of confidence because you can get both feet down naturally. And those pegs aren't feeling like they're particularly in the way either when I'm getting my feet down. I'm going to start it up because I reckon this bike actually has a pretty reasonable exhaust note to it. It's just got that nice rumble as standard, which I think is something all motorcyclists want. As you can hear, that's more intake than exhaust really when I listen to it. But it's still got that nice note to it, which is going to keep riders happy because it actually feels like you're riding a motorcycle. Now obviously that's no sports bike exhaust tone, but it's still a nice little intake note for such a small bike. Just overall, a very, very inviting entry-level option here for this kind of commuter adventure, or as Suzuki put it, sport adventure touring segment. And there's not really that many motorcycles in this particular segment, particularly in the 250cc range. Probably the biggest competition for this, I would say, is the Versys X300, which is the Kawasaki, and it's a little bit more adventure themed, where this is more sports themed, so there's still some good differentiation between those two models. Anyway, I'll be spending more time with this bike and I'll update you on what I think, but so far I'm quite impressed. It's obviously, typical Suzuki build quality, and it's aimed at a very specific niche part of the market, those new riders who want that adventure kind of style bike, but it's not a hardcore adventure bike, and it is going to be an easy machine to start on. So interesting offering from Suzuki, and I'll let you know how I go after I've spent more time on it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, don't forget to hit the notification bell, and leave me your thoughts. Thank you.